Hello everyone, we're gonna talk about the book Stone Cold and Bully. General information about Stone Cold. Why is the book Stone Cold called Stone Cold? That's because he lives on the streets in the cold air. The book Stone Cold was written in 1939 by Robert Swindells. Robert Swindells was born on March 20, 1893. He is known for being one of the UK's best youth authors. The book is set in the present. The story started in Bradford and later the story took place in London. The book is written in first character and the book covers it in days.
I'm gonna talk about the main characters and the summary of the book Stone Cold. Link is a boy who was born on March 20, 1977, living on Bradford, Yorkshire, until he runs away from home because things are not going well between him and his mother and stepfather. Link isn't really the type of guy you would expect to live on the street, because he empathizes with other people and takes good care of other people too. But since Link had no choice but to live on the street or live with his mother and stepfather, where he would probably be better off with the first choice than the second. He was forced to choose life on the streets. At the beginning of the story, he has no experience at all with life on the street, but because he meets someone there who helps him on his way, he later becomes an experienced beggar, a homeless person. Associates. Link's father runs off with another woman when Link is only 14 years old. No further information is known about him. Mother of Link. Since Link's mother has a new boyfriend, she completely changed, in a negative way, causing both of her children to leave home. After Link and Carol left home, she saw them again, but even then things didn't go so well between her and her children. Vincent. Vince is Carol's and Link's stepfather. He does not agree with Carol and Link, and he tries to convince their mother of that, which he succeeded nicely. Vince also did something to Carol once, which caused her to leave with her boyfriend. Carol is Link's sister. She is 4 years older than Link, and she also doesn't get along well with her stepfather. So she decided to live with her boyfriend. Carol also helps Link when he lives on the street. But since Chris isn't too happy about that, the contact between them becomes less as the story progresses. Chris is Carol's boyfriend. He doesn't particularly like it when Link visits them every now and then. He doesn't say that to Carol or Link, but it's noticeable in his behavior. Ginger is about the same age as Link, and he also lives on the street. He helps Link survive on the streets because Ginger has been living on the streets for a long time. Ginger mysteriously disappears and is later found to have been murdered. Gail is a girl who also lives on the streets since she hasn't been living on the streets very long. Link decides to help her in much the same way Ginger did to Link. Later in the story, it turns out that she is not homeless at all, but she is a journalist who wanted to make a story about homeless children. Tanya is a girl who also lives on the street and later, just like Ginger, disappears and is murdered. Link knows her by face, but has never really talked to her properly. Place. The story begins in Bradford, in the house where Link lived. The rest of the story takes place in London, in places such as Tottenham Court Road, Shaftesbury Avenue, the London Underground, and Piccadilly Circus. The genre. We really think that Stone Cold is a realistic fiction, because nowadays there are a lot of homeless people.
The summary of the story. Carrie moved to a new town after the car accident. Like I told, Billy Taggart bullies her because of the limp she has. Miss Jones is the only teacher at the school who really tries to help Carrie. She tells her it could be a good idea to coach the school gymnastics team, but Carrie is not really enthusiastic about it. And she tells her she will think about it. Once at home, Carrie goes upstairs and she gets her old stuff from the time before the car accident. She finds a newspaper with an article of Carrie winning a junior championship. When she goes through the pages, she finds an article about a man who had been in prison. This man seems to be Billy Taggart's father. Billy himself always says his father works at the oil rigs in Scotland. When Carrie goes to school, the next day she talks to Billy, who is shocked. when he finds out what Carrie knows. He agrees with Carrie not to tell anybody his secret. Because Carrie isn't being bullied anymore, she gets happier and happier. And she becomes friends with a girl named June. For a long time, things keep going on well for Carrie. On the day when she arrived at school, Billy is still not there. Carrie doesn't understand why Billy is not there and gets frightened. Wayne scares her off. Carrie is so afraid of Wayne that she starts looking for Billy. In one of the school halls, she sees an open office with school documents. She searches Billy's files and she finds out that Billy has left from school. Then she takes the bus to Billy's house. When Carrie finds Billy's house, Billy opens the door. When Carrie comes in and sees Billy's mother, she notices that his mother is ill. Billy takes her outside and tells her this complete story, that his mother has cancer and that she's on the border of life and death. And he also tells her about his father, that he's in prison. Indeed, and that his mother doesn't want anyone to know that was the only reason Billy had agreed with Carrie. On her way home, she sees June. June asks her where she's been. Carrie tells her everything. When she's in her room, she sees Wayne outside in the park. Wayne is an old friend of Billy. Carrie is really scared of him because he used to bully her. In her anger, she goes after Wayne and grabs him. She pulls him to the floor and bangs his head against the ground a few times. The path is full of gravel, and it only makes the wound in Wayne's head worse. In the end, her father pulls Carrie away and tells her to go home. Carrie's father offers to take Wayne to the hospital. Carrie walks home, enjoying this moment.
General information about Bully. Why is the book Bully called Bully? That's because Carrie, the main character, is being bullied by Billy and his friends. The book was written in 1990 by Evan Coppard. Evan Coppard has already written 18 official books. Her books have been translated into many different languages. The book is set in the present, and the story takes place at school. The point of view is in first character, and the book covers it in days. Are there any questions?